A certain pastor recently came out and said that tattoo is not a sin. He went further to say that even Christians should have a tattoo and that God himself has a tattoo. He also claimed that Jesus has a tattoo, among many other things. Now let's carefully analyze his message from the beginning. What is sin? Sin is any thought, word, action, or omission that violates God's will, moral laws, and divine order. In other words, sin is anything you do that originates from the devil. We can say that sin is lawlessness. When Adam and Eve committed the first human sin, it wasn't just about the food. It symbolized choosing human autonomy over God's authority and many other things. Sin always comes in variants. Let's analyze all the variants of sin from Bible until now. Cain murdered Abel and introduced a new variant which leads to violence. In Genesis chapter 6, 1-4, the fallen angels taught men how to practice sorcery and to commit sin. In Exodus chapter 1, Pharaoh killed male children of the Israelites and sacrificed them to nine gods. Sin always comes in many variants, but the source is the devil. In Jesus' time, if he had eventually turned stone to bread or jumped from the mountain, it would have become a sin because the source was the devil. Jesus said, "You have sinned if you look at a woman lustfully because the source of that thought is from the devil." Jesus identified another variant of sin called unforgiveness and bitterness. He linked unforgiveness directly to blocking God's forgiveness. The apostles mentioned several sins that were not present in Old Testament days, so they were able to identify such practices as sin because they could discern that the source of such action was the devil. To crown it all, the Bible says all unrighteousness is sin. You can see that sin is not just about a list, it's about the source because it will always come in many forms and variants. In our modern era, we now have thousands of sin variants. So how can we identify sin in our present time? Any act or practices whose origin can be traced to Satan is sin because it will eventually lead to full-blown lawlessness. It may look harmless at first, but later you or the next generation may suffer the consequences. Now let's analyze variants of sin in our days. Internet scam, Yahoo Plus, cyberbullying, sextortion, falsifying documents, human trafficking, financial crime, cultism, money laundering, sexual harassment, embezzlement, spreading fake news is sin. Abortion. None of this is from the Lord and are not part of natural resources provided by God. They are all human-made practices influenced and taught by demons. Sin has three major agendas: to open the gate of hell and usher in demons from the underworld. Number two, to separate people from God's power and covering. The last one I will mention is to introduce lawlessness, the man of sin. Don't be deceived. Many of these variants like tattoo and smoking may be harmless in itself. They are designed to usher in the Antichrist and prepare his ways. The world must be lawless for Antichrist to reign. In Revelation chapter 14 from verse 9, the Bible says, "If anyone worship the beast or his image, or receive his mark on his forehead, he himself shall also drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out in full strength." You should ask yourself this question: how can receiving a mark cause eternal damnation? The answer is simple. The source of that mark is Satan. Do not allow anyone to harvest you for Satan and his angels. Ask anyone in the occultic realm. They will tell you that incision mark and tattoos have deep occultic roots. You may not be the target, but your son and daughters may not recover from the oppression of Satan. Follow a preacher who will teach you the way of the Lord. There are many spiritual gifts you can desire rather than drawing tattoos on your body. We have word of wisdom, word of knowledge, gift of healing, working of miracle, prophecy, discerning truth from error, speaking and interpretation of tongue, exhortation, giving faith, and many of them. Thanks and God bless.